Do you feel men have the capacity to love profoundly? What does it mean to, quote unquote, be a man? At the profoundest level, what does love look and feel like to a man?
If anybody, look me up online and get my email, my phone number. If anybody has anything,
Dr. Brown, we'll get to that later.
Well, first and foremost, I want to give a round of applause for each and every one of you that came out tonight. Please clap for yourselves. You all look beautiful. I see a lot of familiar faces, beautiful faces. And for that, we just want to express our gratitude, because you could be doing anything on a Saturday evening, and you chose to come here and get your spirit fed, get your mind rejuvenated. And so for that, I just want to say thank you to each and every one of you. So tonight, my earring fell, that's okay. So tonight is a night that's all about celebrating our men.
That's right.
All right. Tonight is a night where we take time to talk about leading a life of courage, and then listen to some panelists who have some very insightful, dynamic words to share. And then also gifting an award, the Mary E. Gilder Man of Courage Award, to some award recipients. So this is going to be a fun-filled night. I want you to relax. I want you to be open to receive what God is about to plant on the inside of you. So I just want to make sure your heart is open. I should have started by introducing myself, but I think I'm just so excited to get up here. So let me start off by saying my name is Tiara Nicole Gilder. I am the founder of Sisters Advocating Second Steps Incorporated. It's also known as SAS. It is an organization where we focus on taking second steps. We focus on being our greatest self, on embracing who we are and being sassy. Where are my sassy girls at? We focus on being sassy about who we are and what we believe in. And so this is an event that is being put on by SAS, Sisters Advocating Second Steps. So again, tonight is time to have fun. It's time to embrace just what God has to share through the author Mary Elizabeth Gilder, who will be sharing some words. And I got to kind of veer off off track for a quick second. So today, you all don't know what we went through. So oh my God. Today was one of those days where my hair, I had got it done. And then, the elements decided to do it on its own. But I did work out earlier today with P413, so I did but in my complex, the electricity went out.
Yeah.
So, of course, you have women, and women, we need our beauty time. We got to do our eyelashes, get our hair right. You just want to feel beautiful when you walk out. But God worked it out, because we came here, we just been treated by royalty, by Mr. Grant. I don't see him, but we came here, we were determined to come here, because this is more than just the even a man can have a broken heart, part 2 author talk and panel discussion. This is a time where each and every one of you, like I said, you're going to walk away better than you are at this very moment. So you might want to take your phone out, do a selfie, because the person you are after this, you're not going to be the same. So you might want to take a picture so you have that as a remembrance. So what I'm going to do, we're going to move on, and I want to take this time to introduce you all to someone who is very near, very dear, a beautiful woman of God, someone that I've modeled myself after before I even came into this world. And that is author Mary Elizabeth Gilder. Mary Elizabeth Gilder was born and reared in the beautiful city of San Diego, California. Any Cali folk in here? Cali, West Side. A proud graduate of Samuel Morris High School, she went on to earn her Bachelor of Science and a Master's degree from San Diego State University, as well as recognition from the National Association of Women for her scholarly achievements. As of recently, Mary was honored by the Northern California African American Museum and Library for her contribution in American history and culture. In addition, she was celebrated by the Association of African American Women for her literary contributions and highlighted in Red Book magazine. Honored with a medal by the Board of Library Commissioners for her literary achievements, as well as celebrated by numerous universities and book clubs. She was also the past host of Inspirational Conversations radio show and a contributor to Conversations magazine. And for the past 8 years, she has served as the Juvenile Justice Commissioner for Alameda County. So at this time, I am honored to introduce you to Mary Elizabeth Gilder, a commissioner, a dynamic friend, a woman of God, a mother, a wife, a sister friend, a clinical therapist, and most importantly, my beloved mother. Mary Gilder, come on up.
Hello, everyone. Hello. I think I'm gonna have to, when I really get into it, I have to take my shoes off. So I'm gonna take my shoes off so I can feel what it is I'm trying to say. Okay. So, if any of you, who was here last year? All right. So last year I spoke on fear, and I was so proud of the message that I delivered because I just felt it was so profound, and it was my goal this year to also speak on fear, but then Tiara encouraged me to deliver a different message. So what I reflected on is something that I'm going through at this moment in time. So I know I'm probably gonna shed some tears because I get quite emotional when I'm, speaking from my soul. So with that said, now look at my notes here. I'm gonna ask this question. Have any of you ever felt that a shift was taking place in your life? Mm-hmm. Or that you were just simply being shifted? How many of you also feel not only that a shift is taking place in your life, but you're also being shifted to a new assignment? Up until 1 month ago, I was residing in Northern California, and I loved my life. Have any of you ever visited California? Okay. I love my life. I was 10 minutes from the ocean, 1 hour from my favorite spot in the world, Sausalito. And to me, Sausalito is a writer's paradise. Can you imagine waking up on a Saturday morning and your biggest task is deciding whether to dine in San Jose, Palo Alto, Oakland, or San Francisco? I loved my life. This is all going to tie into the message I'm delivering. However, 2 years ago, I recognized that there was an unsettling that caught my attention. It was prolonged and it was unwilling to vacate. I was in continuous prayer because I felt overwhelmed and I was in need of some direction. I sought insight. I looked to God and I sought His insight. In addition, I put forth a promise that I would be bold and courageous. I shared a conversation with God and I stated, whatever it is that you ask of me, I will do the work and follow your will. Just lead me to my assignment. Just lead me to where you need me to be. And I knew that there were 3 cities that were up for consideration. And doing work for me meant applying for employment, and that is what I did. I interviewed, and the offer came from Houston, but I sat on that offer for a month. However, never losing sight of the promise I had made. Even though I had made the promise to be obedient, I had wished for Northern California, overlooking the ocean. In addition, as I reflected on my transition, I thought about the obstacles, and they were numerous, and the challenges that would be facing me as it pertained to the preparation. And I claimed a sense of comfort in knowing that these obstacles would allow for me to become complacent. Somewhere deep within, I had not accepted this truth, that it was time for me to go. Eventually, I accepted the position, but still feeling as though I needed more time to prepare, to center myself, more time to detach, to say my goodbyes. And due to chaos between the two HR departments, more time was granted. However, it was made crystal clear that my transition was his plan. And I say this because everything that should have been an obstacle blocking my departure was resolved. Issues that I had secretly hoped would keep me in Northern California were confronted. It was like the parting of the Red Sea. The first obstacle that was resolved was that I had a manager where I worked who had been good to me. And during the time we were short-staffed, I worked in inpatient psychiatry, and we were barely hanging on, so I was feeling as though, how am I going to deliver this information to him that I'm going to be leaving? Well, one day prior to me notifying him of my resignation, he notified the team of his resignation. The second obstacle that I faced was that I have a clinical license. I'm sure there's many people in the audience who are licensed in various fields. And I knew that there was a possibility that the Board of Behavioral Sciences would require me to relicense if I wished to have a private practice in Houston. So I was like, yeah, that's my way out, you know. Well, when I contacted the Board of Behavioral Science, they notified me, since I had been licensed for 9 years, that they would honor my clinical license, and I would only have to pay a fee of $110. Like, the third obstacle was that I was under the care of a physician and knew without doubt he would not approve of this move. And when I met with him and he ran various tests, he gave his approval. His mandate was that I simply return every 4 months for testing. And the list of what I thought to be deal breakers that were resolved goes on and on and on. Everything that should have been an obstacle, a barrier, a deal breaker, a game changer was smoothed out. As I stated prior, it was like the parting of the Red Sea. When you know without doubt that you are being summoned, when you know that a shift is taking place within your life, when you know that you are being called to action, it is vital that you maintain obedience. Eventually, that's what I did. after continuously losing to God in what felt like a game of craps, so I'm gonna try to give you guys a scenario where I was going with this, or where I'm going with this. So I wrote, God has a 3. So he's playing the game of craps, and God throws his craps out, and it's 3. So with me, I'm thinking, okay, he threw out a 3. Well, can I get a 4? Can I get a 4 on my doctor denying me to go because of my health issues? Throw those craps out. Darn, it's 2. Okay. So God throws his out. 5. Then I'm thinking, okay, well, you know what? Let me try to get a 7. Can I fill a 7? Can I get a 7? On my license not being accepted in Houston. So I throw mine out, and 2. So what I'm trying to say to you is no matter what plan I put into place, no matter what the mounting obstacles were, in the end, when it's all said and done, God was saying to me, I'm in control. I'm in control. So after much resistance, I made a decision to surrender to his will for my life and to be courageous by walking in faith. Are any of you related to this? I hope so. 2 words come to mind when I reflect on my recent journey from California to Houston, and that is faith and courage. Faith in knowing I've been called to make this shift, to move into action. It doesn't matter if the shift is taking place within a relationship or your career. Faith is displayed in you trusting that it will all work out when it's all said and done. Believing with all your will, he has me. He knows what I need. And he understands my soul completely. He knows what I need to flourish and to sustain. And he knows what you need to flourish and to sustain. It's not of importance that you understand the assignment or grasp each step within your journey, or that others approve. It's only vital that you comply. Courage is in trusting that this is what you have been called to do, your assignment. Feeling within the depths of your soul, knowing without doubt, this is his will. And with that knowledge, you then have the audacity to be a frontline warrior and walk in courage. It's about making a decision to be courageous, to be brave, to be bold. 9 months ago, I made a decision to be courageous. I'm a thinker, and in those moments when fear and doubt would creep in, and it did, I would remind myself that this is his will. He is in control, and immediately the stress and worry would subside. And due to my imperfection, worry would resurface, and I would speak his truth. God is in control. I'm going to be just fine. And immediately, a calm would come over me. A calm would come over me. I believe he brought us here today to share enriched experiences. You know, it takes courage to share your journey, so that in turn, others may be inspired to elevate to a higher level of insight and growth. We are all on assignment, and it is his will that we shift towards the direction he has ordered. You know, it's easy to talk about courage. Oh, yes, it is. And it's another to demonstrate it. It's easy to proclaim to the masses, I am courageous. I'm courageous. But it's another to boldly walk in it. Those of you sitting here today feeling some kind of way. How many of you are just, feeling some kind of way? I see you, okay. All right. Feeling some kind of way and feeling a level of discomfort. Feeling uneasy. Feeling as though a shift is taking place within your life. And perhaps feeling as though you're being called to be obedient. I say to you, be courageous as you pursue your goals, dreams, and your passions. Be courageous in building a healthy relationship with your spouse and your children. Be courageous in building financial security. Be courageous when it comes to matters of the heart. Oh, this is my favorite. Be courageous when it comes to love. Be courageous when it comes to addressing past hurts and pains and disappointments. Be courageous when it comes to evolving into the person you were sent here to become. Be courageous in building a strong spiritual foundation. Be courageous in trusting in God's abilities. And I say that because He is who He proclaims to be. Yes, He is. Be courageous when it comes to walking in your truth. Thank you so very much.
Be comfortable when you're being courageous. Well, no, you're actually uncomfortable when you're being courageous. Thank you so much. Come here. First, thank you so much for sharing such a profound word on being courageous, something that is so hard to do. And for you to shed and tell your testimony and your willingness to go beyond yourself and be obedient to God. Thank you for doing that this evening.
And I just want to add,
please.
Even as I journey and I settle into the city of Houston, you know, I do have those moments because I totally miss California with all of my might. But what I was trying to convey in my words to you was that God has shown me that this is His will. It doesn't matter whether I understand it or not. It's His expectation that I obey. So regardless of whether I understand it or not, I'm just moving forward in faith. And so that's the message I was trying to deliver. We don't have to always understand, but when we know what we know, it's just important that we be obedient to His words.
Okay, so at this time, we do, if there's any questions that you have for the author, anyone have a question we can present? Okay, so what we're going to do at this time, as we get ready for our panelist discussion, take 10 minutes. There is popcorn, there are drinks, and this is homemade popcorn. Popcorn that was shaken on the stove. So please go enjoy some popcorn. There is homemade pound cake. Okay, my grandmother made all the pound cake, all of the popcorn. Wave your hand around there. Yvonne Hollis, thank you so much. Please enjoy. There's fruit, there's vegetables, so take a few minutes, 10 minutes, just to again, exhale and absorb all that courage that you're about to walk out of here with as we prepare for our male panelists. Thank you.